Hello and welcome to this R tutorial. So for those of you who haven't checked the Python tutorials on Kernel SVM, I can't wait to show you the results. It's going to be something. You'll definitely see how the Kernel SVM classifier can be a powerful classifier, especially in our situation where the dataset is not linearly separable. Here you're going to see how it can manage to overcome this non-linear separability and classify most of our users of the social network correctly. So let's make this Kernel SVM classifier right now and quickly look at the results. So as usual, we're going to start by setting our working directory. So right now I'm on my desktop. I'm going to my machine learning AZ folder, part 3 classification, section Kernel SVM, and here we are. Make sure that you have the social network add CSV file in your folder, and if that's the case, you're ready to click on this more button here to set your folder as working directory. Here it is, all good. And now let's start making our model. So we made an awesome classification template in the Logistic regression section, so we're going to use it. So here we're going to take everything from here to the end, copy this, and simply paste it in the Kernel SVM R file. And now what we only need to do is to create our classifier here, because the template is made in such a way to make your machine learning experience as efficient as possible. So we're not going to create it now. First, we're going to, select all the data preprocessing first step to preprocess the data. So we're going to press Command and Control plus Enter to execute, and all good. As you can see, the code executed properly. Now we can have a quick look at the data set, the training set, and the test set. So we can see that we have 400 observations in the data set, 300 that were selected to go to the training set, and 100 selected to go to the test set. That's because of our 0.75 split ratio here. And quick reminder, this data set is about a social network that contains information about users in a social network. So we have their age, the estimated salary, and the last column tells if yes or no, the users bought a product of a business client of this social network, which is a car company. So this car company put ads on the social network, and the social network gathered those informations to see the user's reaction. And so 0 means here that the user didn't buy the SUV, and 1 here means that the user bought the SUV. And our goal now is to make a classifier that classifies those users into 2 categories, the category of users that didn't buy the SUV and the category of users that bought the SUV. So let's do this. Let's do it with Kernel SVM. And so right now we need to create our classifier. And as usual, it's going to be very intuitive and simple. We're going to use the best library for this. And besides, if you watched the SVM tutorials, you're going to see that we're using the same library and the same function. We will just need to change some parameters. So let's do this. For those of you who didn't follow the SVM tutorials, you need to install a package. So to do this, you type this command, install.packages, and in parentheses and quotes, E1071. So that's the most popular package for SVMs. Another very popular package is KernLab. You can play around and check it out. It's actually quite simple. It's kind of the same function, only with slightly different parameters to input, but it's also a great package for SVMs. But here we're going to use E1071, which is one of the most popular packages. And so that's for you guys who, if you go to your packages list here, and if you go to E1071, you can see that I have this package installed on my packages. It might not be the case for you, so that's why I'm adding this line here in case you don't have the package installed on your packages in R. So I won't do it right now. You just need to select this line and execute, and it will install the package very quickly. So I'm just going to put that in comment. I just pressed Command Shift plus C. And now we need to do another important thing about this library is to, type this command library and then in parentheses the name, not in quote, of the library, E1071. Okay. And we need to add this line. It's very important in case we have some automated scripts that, make some Kernel SVM models to dataset. So imagine you have a workflow and you want to include a Kernel SVM model in this workflow. Well, you will need some automated scripts. So it's important to add this line because this will automatically select your library, because as you can see here, it's not selected. That means it's not imported in some way. So you need this line that will automatically select this package. Okay? And now we're ready to create our classifier. So it's going to be the same as for SVM, which is actually an SVM with a linear kernel. Here we're not going to use a linear kernel, we're going to use something else, which will be the Gaussian kernel. So let's do this. We're going to call our classifier as usual classifier, and then equal, and then here we're going to use the SVM function of the E1071 library. Now we need to import the parameter. So as usual, let's have a look. Here it is. And now you need to click on this. And here we are in the R documentation for SVM E1071.